Welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. Today, let's talk about sacrificing your morals. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. My name is Kale Houser. Thank you for joining me today. I will be your host. Hey, surprise, surprise, surprise. And if you did not already know, or if you're new to the channel and to this world, I am a co-founder of the Kale Houser Leadership, along with my wife, Liz Houser. We developed this small business leadership consulting company in order to provide value and help small businesses that are struggling to create amazing, connected, and inspired teams, and as well as grow in their confidence as leaders themselves. So this podcast is geared towards that type of person. It's geared towards somebody that, maybe is starting out or is struggling, and they're having people quit and they don't know why, all those types of things. And I hopefully provide this valuable bits of content to you that you can steadily and slowly, well, maybe not even slowly, but steadily add value to your life and to your business and increase your overall, profitability and revenue and culture of your business. But as we're going through this, there's something that is easy to overlook if you're not paying attention, and that is your morals. That is what makes you you. What do you believe in? What are things you will not do? What are things that you will do or that are important to you, or things that you ensure that you will do as part of your business? Or as just being you yourself, the leader of your business or your organization, your staff, whatever that is. What makes you, and where do your morals lie? Now, for some people, they've never thought about this. They're just kind of going with the flow. They react however they feel or whatever their emotions dictate at that moment to react. And there's nothing that is really that guiding light / firm rock, firm foundation that they measure all the actions and thoughts and mindsets and deeds that they do through, i.e. their morals. Now, it's easy to get into a very deep philosophical discussion on morals because, where do morals come from and what validates them and what lends them credence and all those types of things and what are right morals versus wrong morals. And I'm not going to really get into that because, again, not the intent of this podcast. There are definitely podcasts out there that you can find if you want to further delve into the concept of morals, but I'm going to make a couple assumptions that we kind of get the basic principles of what morals are and what good morals are versus quote unquote bad morals. Although those lines are getting blurred more and more every day as our society grows and becomes more even disconnected from each other and from, anyway, you get my point on that. The point being, when is it time, if there ever is a time, to sacrifice your morals for business, in your business? And when is there a time to sacrifice business for your morals? Now, this is certainly easy to find examples of this happening in our society and in common culture. Something that springs to mind is Chick-fil-A, right? They're a Christian-based, family-owned business that has chosen to not be open on Sunday because they value that. They value allowing their employees the opportunity to attend church wherever, their locations are, as one of their reasons for doing it. And I think that is one of their primary reasons. Ever since the owner, Kathy Truitt, and I want to say it was his brother that opened the first restaurant that was not a Chick-fil-A, it was their first restaurant, they have done that despite the demand for their product on Sundays, right? How many of you have been driving by a Chick-fil-A or it's come lunchtime or dinner time, you're like, man, I could really go for some nuggets or a chicken sandwich right now. And then you're like, oh, dang it, it's Sunday, right? And you get upset, or not upset, but you're like disappointed. And there's a legit demand for their product on Sundays across the planet. Like there's no Chick-fil-A's. Although I did hear that maybe there's one that's 24 hours in Vegas. I haven't confirmed that. It was just something that I heard. It might have been complete bull hockey. But the point is that organization, as a business entity, that their purpose is to, build revenue and make money, although they don't have stockholders in that sense. Their purpose is to make money, and they are choosing to stick to their morals, what makes them their company, what makes them who they are, the Truitts and that family-owned business, and sacrificing business for their morals, in this sense, being closed on Sunday. And there are several examples of this all across, right? Hobby Lobby is the same thing. They're closed on Sundays, and right. Fact check me if that is wrong, but I'm like 90% sure, right, that Hobby Lobby does the same thing. And there's tons across. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we can all probably think of businesses that will do anything to get business. They will say anything, do anything, tell you anything, right? The classic kind of used car salesman that has no morals. They will straight out lie through their teeth to you and tell you all these wonderful things about this old clunker beat up car to where you buy it, and the second you get in it and sign the dotted paperwork, all the problems are yours, right? Those are instances in the classic stereotypical sense that salesman, that used car salesman has sacrificed their morals, if they had any to begin with, for the business, for the sale. And we can all think of that. I've had interactions with salesmen where I've either in the middle of it or walking away from it going, man, either that person like has no morals or they're sacrificing them to try to get my business and not in a good way. And when compared or put in next to and in conjunction with, what I consider what are my morals, there's a disconnect. And so it causes, again, a disconnect and me not doing business with them. Now, I'm not saying that if you have these established morals that, in your business, or if that's what your company's about, that you have to become this like outspoken political activist, right? Or some big proponent for your charity that it now becomes almost a turnoff to most of the people, unless you're going towards that specific, niche of clientele. But you do need to ask yourself, does your business, and especially if you're the business owner, if you are the general manager, the store manager, the one that's solely responsible for that business, does that business align with your morals? And vice versa, if you're the business owner and maybe you have a store manager or somebody that you've imparted that authority to, does that person align with your morals as a business and what you want to do with that business and why you started it and how you want to serve and all that kind of stuff? And an easy way to gauge this is to go back to your core values. You as a business need core values. It's a must. If you have not taken the time to work through what does your business stand for in the form of your core values, the core things that define you and your purpose as a business, besides just I service home air conditioning units, right? It's more than that. It's not the service you provide, it's why you provide their service and what's important to you in providing that service to your community as a business. But that's how you determine it. That's your measuring stick. You start by defining your core values, and then you use those core values as your measuring stick for your morals of your company. And the really nice thing about it is once you've done that, it becomes really easy. You're no longer left in the dark or wondering like, oh, am I creeping too far this way or too far that way or not enough this way or not enough that way. You just go back to like, well, what do our core values say about this? In the Air Force, the core values were integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And everything got ideally got flowed through those three things. Like, okay, do I have integrity in this situation? Well, no, I'm cheating on this person's OPR or their evaluation report in order to make them look better than they actually are, and I know it. Well, you're not showing integrity there, right? Service before self. Am I putting the needs of myself before the overall health of the organization or whatever that is? No, you're putting yourself before the service, the good of the organization. And then excellence in all I do. Am I giving my best effort? Did I show up today? Excellence in all I do. Like, yes or no. And it becomes really easy in how to gauge that. But it's also easy to lose sight of that. But as a small business, once you develop that and then you move a step past that, you start creating your culture around those core values in the form of now everyone that comes into your organization that maybe works for you, works with you, becomes a part of that, and then they can also help contribute to that sense of it. And you go beyond that also into your mission statement and your vision statement. Those all are things that are tied into what are inherently your morals as the business owner, as the business leader, into the organization. But I would caution you, as you're doing this, it's easy to kind of create this hill that you want to die on. Do you know what I'm saying? It's easy to be a little bit extreme, or not easy, but I would caution you about going the extreme end of things, if that makes sense. Because on one hand, you are a business, you're providing a service to your community in some form or fashion, and you don't want to push people away necessarily, but you also want to make sure that it attracts the right people that you're wanting to do business with, or the right employees you're wanting to hire, the right technicians, the right salesmen, whatever that is for you. And you use your core values to do that. And then constantly, it's more than having the poster on the wall. It's more than having it as your screensaver. It's something that you need to actively think about and use daily, weekly, monthly in your staff meetings, in your meetings, to use as your measuring stick of, as you decide and grow and have new opportunities, open and close for you. What will you do with your core values, i.e. your morals, in order to get that business or not get that business, or, all those types of things. So I just thought it was an interesting concept, because we can all probably think of companies or individuals that work for those companies that appear to be sacrificing what most of us would consider good morals in order to get the sale or get the business or something of that nature, if that makes sense. And I would caution you against that as the leader, because people do see that if they're on your team and you're espousing, hey, our core values are integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. But then you, as the commander, i.e. the leader of your business, you go around and, you don't pay your taxes. Yeah. you cheat on your inventory lists. If you have stocks, you fudge on your accounts receivable and accounts payable to fudge your numbers at the end of the year, so your stock doesn't take a hit. All those types of things, and this is essentially what I'm alluding to caution you against, because it won't escape people's notice for long. It's a slippery slope. So core values, if you need help developing them, absolutely reach out. It's something that Liz and I specialize in for helping companies, especially small businesses that just need help, because not everyone knows what makes a good core value statement, what makes a good core value for a business to operate on, and we can absolutely help you go through that. So visit kalehouser.com, book a call, love to talk to you. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon, no matter where you're at in the world. Bye.